All right, we are live.
We're
Hello.
back.
We are back.
Hey,
We have two special guests. We have, you want to introduce them, Lisa?
Okay, look, he is so fantabulous. We couldn't even show him why. Because his beauty is just, he shines so bright. My new good friend, Mr. Tommy Barnes, is on the line with us. How are you, Tommy?
Good afternoon. I'm fine. How are y'all?
We are wonderful, wonderful. And we also have Mr. Colt Montgomery still in the studio with us. Actually, we're in his studio.
Yeah, we're in his tour bus. How about that?
Hey, Colt, you're not any kin to Peanut Montgomery, are you?
Peanut Montgomery, are you kidding?
No kids. Yeah, no kids.
Oh, okay. Well, I still won't hold that against you. I just thought there might be a chance.
All right, Mr. Barnes, we met on a wild, wild, wild way. Let me explain how I met him. Oh, Tommy, I'm
All
sorry. I paid off some judges at a beauty contest that Tommy Barnes was in.
No wonder I walked away with the prize.
Now you know a secret, right?
Yeah,
No, we
I
actually
always
got
knew.
that. We
I
actually
always
got
knew that stuff.
Yeah, right. We got sat together. They had no idea what they were doing.
No.
At the 9th annual Alabama Music Award Show.
Yes.
And we got the pleasure of getting to know each other and getting in trouble.
Yeah, shushed them.
So, Tommy, tell everybody who may not have heard your name. You know, there are some people who don't have like anything.
Well, I invented liquid dynamite. That was the first thing. I invented liquid dynamite. Everybody don't know that though. But I'm actually I'm a songwriter in Nashville, Tennessee, and I came here to get in the mobile home business. But you got to know somebody, so I thought I'd write songs till something opened up in the mobile home business. And so far, I'm better at writing songs than I am at building mobile homes.
All right, thank goodness.
So that idea worked out for you.
It did. Well, I had a hang gliding business, but I never could get it off the ground.
So tell me, what song was the song that put you over?
The one that got me out of the drywall business right before I had to get in it was a song that Hank Jr. cut back in 1988 called "Man to Man," and it was a song about him placing a phone call to heaven to talk to Hank Sr. And I had that song for a couple of years trying to get it to him, and everybody but Hank told me he wouldn't do it. He's the only one that said he would. But I was such a big, huge. Well, I was such a big, huge Hank Jr. fan and a Hank Sr. fan. I'm a big Hank. You know, I'm old enough to appreciate both of them immensely. And
You're old enough to know both of them. Is that what you said?
I'm old enough to appreciate both of them.
Oh, I got you.
I thought I heard that one of them was when he.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, you know, I was a big fan of Hank Sr. I mean, I love, and you know, going all the way back to Jimmy Rogers, I just love great music, and there's a lot of it out there, you know. Anyway, I was such a big Hank Jr. fan. I was actually talking with a friend of mine one day, and I said, I think Hank wishes he could talk to his dad if he could just pick the phone up and talk to him. And that's where I got the idea. Anyway, it took me about 2 years, and I finally got it. I got it to Merle Kilgore, who was his manager. Mm-hmm. I got him a copy back. I saw him at a party one night and asked him about it. I'd had people told me they'd heard it and they didn't like it and wasn't going to do it, and I couldn't believe that. So anyway, long story short, I saw Merle at a party one night, asked him about it, and he said they'd never heard it. So I said, well, how can I get you a copy of it? He said, send it to Paris and put on there requested by Merle. Well, my best friend at the time, a guy named Wayne Perry, fellow songwriter, he told me, he said, man, Hank Jr. is doing Nashville Now tomorrow night. So Wayne was the kind of guy, he'd sneak into a place he had a ticket for. And we snuck in backstage at Nashville Now that night. And I remember sitting on a picnic table out back, and Merle and couple of people came walking through there, and I gave him a cassette copy. And they called me about 3 days later, said, Hank loves it, wants to do it. And about 3 weeks later, he was doing it live on the CMA Awards.
Very cool.
Yeah, so Merle, I give Merle Kilgore, I give Merle a lot of credit too, because Merle could have thrown it in the trash or done something, but Merle, I always, gave him credit for helping me get that to Hank,
Right.
And but that was the one that got me my start, and then I got my second song. Actually, was recorded by Rick Hall down there in Muscle Shoals. It was a song that Tom Wopat, or as my buddy Wild Bill Emerson used to call him, Bob Moped. He recorded a song called "Too Many Honky Tonks on My Way Home," and they actually cut it down there at Fame.
Wow,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was then. After that, I got a writing deal a couple of years later over there with Jimmy Bowen at Great Cumberland. When he found out, I was talking to him about doing an artist thing, and he flew me down to Houston to meet Bill Ham, who was producing and managing ZZ Top, Clint Black, and I went down and met with Bill, and they offered me a writing deal, and I came back to town, and I did a 3-year co-pub with those guys, and during that time, I'd met an old boy right after Hank came out with Man to Man. Actually, it was the day Keith Whitley died. That's how we remember it. But I was at a bar there, famous on Nashville at the time. It's called the Hall of Fame Lounge. And Tim McGraw was his first night in town, and he came up to me in the bar because I just had my Hank cut and my Tom Wopat cut. And he came to me and said, man, I'm new in town. I'm looking for some songs to try to get me a deal with. And I played him Indian Outlaw that night upstairs. We went upstairs to his hotel room and played guitar, passing the guitar back and forth. And he just grabbed a hold of it the first night and just always liked that song. And he tried to get them to let him do it on his first album, but they wouldn't let him cut it. So anyway, he was able to cut it on the All I Want album, and a surprise to all of us, it became a big hit. So but anyway, I met Tim because of the Hank Jr. cut and stuff. So that really opened up a lot of doors,
Exactly.
Yeah, we all love Hank and Hank Jr.'s music. That was such an awesome experience for you, I'm sure.
So at any time during your writing and trying to get your music out there, did you feel like giving up?
Yeah. I mean, I think anybody, if they're honest, there's always, you always have to doubt yourself, especially when you look around and you see so much talent, and you know that luck plays a big part of it too, but I wanted to give it a real good effort, but yeah, there were times, but there was always that fear. It's too easy. It's like I was in the Air Force for 4 years before I came to Nashville. I quit high school in 1979 because the Iranians had just taken over the embassy in Tehran. I thought we were going to war. So I quit and took my GED and joined the Air Force in 1979. And I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way. And there were times I wanted to quit it. There were some times I felt like just leaving the base. But I had signed up to give them 4 years, and I was going to do that unless they kicked me out. But there were a lot of times I wanted out of that, but I had given them a commitment, and I'm pretty good. If I commit to something, I'm pretty good at seeing it through.
It's so important.
I think at some point everybody has that, and there's even times now, even after success, that you have to pinch yourself and wonder, are you kidding yourself? Do you still have it? Or I just think that's a normal, anybody that's honest. I'd hate to think that I never thought for a minute that I wouldn't make it.
Well, I think Mr. Colt Montgomery might want to say hi to you.
Hello, Mr. Colt.
Tommy, sir, it is such an honor to have this moment to be able to talk to you.
You better believe it. You don't even know how big a deal this is. No, I'm kidding. You humbled me, Colt. Where are you out of, Colt?
Hazel Green, Alabama, sir.
Oh, you an Alabama boy. Well, there ain't too much wrong with you. Now,
Thank you.
what part of the state is that in?
It's about 20 minutes north of Huntsville.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I love that area. I've never heard of Hazel Green. I actually, on my way back from Birmingham, I've got a good friend of mine and a writing buddy that lives down in Huntsville. And I spent the night down there and we hung out the next day. But I love that area.
Very awesome.
Yep.
Well, one day I plan to finally plant roots with my wife and kids somewhere in the mountains of Tennessee, where my heart desires.
There, I don't blame. I love the mountains too. I don't hate it, but I'm not a big flatlander. I love hills and mountains. And I think Tennessee and even North Alabama up there around Fort Payne, that's beautiful up there. They got some nice little hills over there.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Now, are you a country artist, Colt? I apologize. I haven't heard of your name until today, but I'm definitely want to check you out. And are you a country singer?
Yes, sir. And
Cool.
Also a country rap artist.
Oh, that's great.
I've been trying lately. I have several tracks that, and hearing you say that, there's been times that you've wanted to quit this and doubted yourself. And I have several just country tracks that I have debated not to drop that isn't out yet because I want to begin to start leaning more into that. And it actually helped to reignite something. And he's like, don't doubt it. Just do it because you love it and because you're proud of it and you're proud of yourself.
Well, I talked to a gentleman earlier. He's wanting me to take him in the studio and cut a few things on him. He lived here years ago and he got a DUI and he left town. And anyway, so we're talking about, we've never met. We met through a mutual friend on the internet. And anyway, so we've been talking and I said, well, look, here's the deal. I said, the only thing I can promise you is I won't screw you over and we'll have fun and you won't be ashamed of what you got when we're done. But I asked him, I said, do you fish? And he said, yeah. I said, have you ever gone fishing and didn't catch anything and just wished you hadn't went? And he said, no. I said, well, that's the same deal with this. Enjoying the day and enjoying what we're doing has got a lot to do with it. Success, to me, success only gives you the opportunity to do it more often. But I think anybody who doesn't love it that gets into it's not going to have what it takes to stick with it. When you do start doubting yourself, I think it's even like a relationship. If it quits being easy, if you walk away because it quits being easy, you're not going to have one very long, but you'll have a lot of them.
Yes, absolutely. It blows my mind. I was just saying this to Dr. Mary probably about 20 minutes ago. I just want to be successful. It's wow. I'm a loss for words.
Well, I had a guy years ago. I won't get into all the details, but he owned a music store up in Virginia. We was gonna do some business, but I caught him lying. He lied to me about some stuff, and so I canceled the order. And I heard through the grapevine what he was going to do to me, so I figured I'd help him out and fix it so we could meet. And he got to telling me how bad he was and what all he's going to do to me, and that didn't work. So then he told me, he said, I got buddies down there that can write circles around you. I said, hell, so do I. You ought to hear the shit my friends are writing. I'm like, man, if you think you're gonna make me feel like you hurt my feelings because I'm not the greatest thing in Nashville, buddy, you better come up with something else.
Yeah.
I mean, what motivates me is listening to the shit my friends write. I'm like, buddy, you better get up and get to going. I mean, you got some competition out here, man. But I love, I've got friends of mine. I pitched songs to people that I didn't even know who wrote them because I thought they were hits. I actually pitched a song to Rascal Flatts one night. I knew some of them boys before they ever hit. And I saw Joe Dunn one night outside the Palm in Nashville. And I pitched him a friend of mine's song. And he didn't cut it, but it was a gospel thing. He wound up cutting it on a gospel act. But somebody asked me, they said, why did you pitch him something besides yours? Why'd you? I said, because this is better for them than anything I've got. I wanted them to know that when I bring them a song, it's not just because I wrote it. It's because I believe in it. I think it's a great song, you know. And to me, I wanted to be judged on what they thought I was bringing, not because of I'm the one that did it.
Mr. Tommy, it was such an honor to get to talk to such a legend like yourself. I do apologize. It's getting that time. My beautiful wife, for the very first time, is going to be performing today at the Muletown Music Fest here in Columbia, Tennessee, and I want to do everything I can to honor her and honor that.
Well, you knocked
Well, he
yourself
has
out.
gotta
If you don't
go.
mind, I'm gonna go peek and take a look at you. I know you got some stuff online. I'll be checking you out. And it was an honor speaking with you, and thank you for the respect you showed me. And I look forward to meeting you in person someday. And I hope your wife breaks a leg.
Well, hey, you might get your, oh, sorry about that, y'all. You might get your chance, Mr. Tommy, because we just announced, me and Lisa, that we joined Crushing Unlimited with Charles Rushing and his group. And we're putting on a
Cool.
big concert November the 11th, and we are going on tour in March.
That's fantastic. Well, I want you to go
I'm
out there and
tired.
break a leg.
I need a
and,
vacation, Tommy. Where are we gonna run to?
let's go downtown Nashville and see if they got anything going on.
Y'all
Let's
get
do
in
it.
trouble.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, hey, Tommy, it's been a great time with you as always. I look forward to being able to do this again. Maybe next time we can show people how beautiful you are and why you won that contest.
Well, I started to do that for a living, but I didn't want to hedge my bet.
That's right.
Well, we're
Well,
gonna
listen,
get off
I've
here.
enjoyed it. I've enjoyed
Yes,
it. Y'all
sir.
have a beautiful, if you're in Columbia, y'all must have some nice weather down there today, because we've got some up here in Nashville.
It is
Well,
beautiful.
y'all have a good time. Y'all have
Yes,
a good
sir.
time, and let's do this again.
Thank you. It was an
Thank
honor
you
having you
so
on
much.
Singing Harmonies.
Y'all have a good evening. Bye-bye.
All
You
right.
too. Bye bye. We'll catch you guys later. Let's go listen to some music.
Later, guys.